The S&P just gave us the worst 2 consecutive days since March of 2023. Hey there, Tamir from FibonaChiTraders.com, your daily market recap. Like, subscribe, and let's see the charts. The S&P just gave us the worst 2 consecutive days since March of 2023. Friday, 1.4. Today, Monday, 1.25% decline. The worst 2 consecutive days decline since March of 2023. And as we can see, now we are at a 50% retracement inside the yellow zone. Next is the 497 gap. We have been talking about this gap in the last 2 weeks or so. Since we broke below the 515, we are talking that the S&P is on its way to close the 497 area. This is how it looks on the 65 minutes. Always zoom in, zoom out. We opened the day with a nice gap up, but then slowly broke below the 65 minutes yellow zone and ended up the day at the 503. Below the 503, the 497 will get filled, and this is how it looks today. Even pre-market in the Fibonacci Traders Discord premium room, we took some nice trades, and as you can see over here, members are making money. So make sure you join us today. The Fibonacci Traders Discord, English, Hebrew. We have day trading, we have swing trading, options, crypto, also in Hebrew. Everything that you need under one roof. And then you will start making money almost immediately. QQQ 1.6% to the downside. This is how it looks on the daily. Massive, aggressive breakdown below this uptrend line. Now we got ourselves a sell signal also on the daily. Bearish sentiment on almost all time frames on the Qs. We are still bullish on the weekly, but continuation below the 490, below the 429, and the weekly will also turn into bullish, and then we are heading towards the 426 gap and then 416. Dow Jones 0.7% to the downside, went all the way to the 376 area. The 376 area, just look left. It was a very important area of resistance during December until January of 2024. Now needs to hold the support, breaking down and under, and all we need to do is put the FTI on our chart, and the FTI with one click gives us everything that we need for future levels of support, resistance, and a very good point of view on multi-time frames. IWM with 1.46% to the downside, and look at this, surprise, surprise. At the lower border of this broadening formation, you know this broadening formation, we have been talking about this broadening formation in the past few days. Also, if you follow me on Twitter, and of course in the Discord, and every YouTube video that I posted in the past few days or so, we have been talking about this broadening formation. The only true formation that price aggregates, price moves. This is the roadmap for future price action, trend lines, broadening formation, and of course Fibonacci. Look at this, broadening formation, Fibonacci, it's all we need. Now continuation below it, and we will see 190, and then slowly and maybe fast, no one knows, we are going to close the gap at the 170. All we need to do is adjust the FTI to tell us to the downside, and here we are below today's lows. We will see 190 and then 176, and then this gap at the 169 with a touch at the 168 will get filled. Bitcoin struggling. Look at this white trend line. You know this white trend line, we drew it a few days back, broke below. Now from support to resistance. Now all this area, the 62 area, is the most important area for now as support. Breaking down and under, where should we go? Just put a line below the 61,600, below this yellow, below this green line. we will see the same price action we saw over here to the upside. We will see the same price action, but to the opposite side, back to this yellow zone. Take a screenshot with this triple top scenario. The green line now is the line in the sand for Bitcoin bulls. Ethereum slowly continues to make lower lows, lower highs. Now we can take also this trend line over here, and the next support is this area, the 2750 below the 2853. We can take Fibonacci, reverse it to the downside. Let's make it a little tighter. And now, as you can see below the 3033, we will see 2550 and then 2610. Look at this, bearish on the 4 hours, bearish on the daily, bearish on the weekly. No bulls around for now on crypto land, especially on Ethereum, that it's breaking down and under. Is it over for crypto? For now, sure looks like. Follow the price and trade what you see. Don't trend what you want to see. Don't trend what you feel like. And especially don't trade what others tell you what they think. Just trade the price. We have been talking about the SPY breaking below and heading towards the 497 in the past few days or so, few weeks, since beginning of April. We've been talking about this trend line in the past few days, and we said if QQQ will break below it, the downside will be here very fast. Also Bitcoin, we have been talking about this triple top, double top, triple top, call it whatever you want. We have been talking about this area as a very strong resistance, and we said that if bulls will give up, this trend line will get filled, and we will see most probably the yellow zone to the downside. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and you will learn, and I will show you where price might be heading next with no confirmation bias. Apple broke last Thursday and Friday continuation above this trend line, but today back to the downside, 2.2% to the downside. Looks like Apple is going back to retest this trend line as a support, failing to stay above this trend line, and we are back inside and below this yellow trend line. Amazon with 1.35% to the downside, holding barely at the right lane, at the left lane, sorry, of this uptrend channel. Overall, Amazon is still in an uptrend, but as you can see, the FTI gives us all the signals that we need that it is not the time to go long on Amazon. And if you're already long, maybe it's time to close our long position on Amazon. All you need to do is put the FTI on your chart, and it will help you with up to 85% accuracy. First, how to buy, where to buy, when to sell, how to manage your risk, and control your emotions, because one click away and it gives you everything that you need. Look at Microsoft. We said that if bulls of Microsoft will give up, and here we are, they gave up. 2% to the downside, breaking below the yellow zone. Now, 413 is the support. Below it, we are heading to close the gap, at least closing the gap at the 406. Bearish on Microsoft on the 65, on the 4 hours, on the daily. Only on the weekly we are still bullish, because on the weekly we still have lower highs since beginning of this 2024. NVDA another 2.5% to the downside, breaking below the yellow zone. Now the 860. Look how the FTI gives you all the support and resistance that you need. Breaking below the 860, we will see this gap at the 824 getting filled. We have been talking about this gap long time now. Since the start of this decline, we have been talking about this gap, and now look at this. Trend lines show you the way for future price action, and NVIDIA is inside the downtrend channel that takes us first to close this gap, below this gap, where price of NVIDIA might be heading next. Don't struggle. Take Fibonacci. Fibonacci will give you everything that you need. Below, you will see 797 and then all the way to the gap of 690. Follow price, manage your risk. The only thing we have full control of is our risk management. Always, always, always protect the downside. The upside will take care of itself. Protect the downside. Check the links in the description below. Join me today on this magnificent journey on how to become a better trader, how to become an expert professional trader. So you won't need to follow anyone else, including myself. We have these testimonials. If you have dilemmas, if the Fibonacci Traders is truly the program that will turn you into professional trader, just go to the Fibonacci Traders Discord testimonials. Look at this. We have professional traders, so take your financial freedom in your own hands. Join me today, and you will get lifetime access for support, guidance, and of course, all Discord channels. Tesla, 5.6% to the downside, closed at the low of the day. Nothing bullish on Tesla. Look at this. You know this blue trend line. We have been talking about this blue trend line for a very long time now. Each and every time Tesla meets this trend line rejected the price, and now back to this green line, the 160 area below it. Finally, this gap at the 146 will get filled. Google with 1.8% to the downside. Google broke below the middle trend line. Now Google is going to retest the lower blue trend line. Below it, where Google might be heading next. FTI will tell you. Below the 152, this is the yellow zone. Breaking below the upper border of the yellow zone, we will see 150, 147, and then this gap at the 143 will get filled. Meta with 2.3% to the upside. Meta also bearish on almost all swing trading time frames. We are still inside this option channel. This is why the weekly is still bullish, but this is now not the time to go long on Meta. And if you are already long on Meta, this is the time to manage your long position much more carefully with a very tight stop loss, because breaking below the 493, we will see 481, and then each and every future support to the downside, this red support to the downside, will be here very fast. What goes up slowly comes down very fast. MicroStrategy, another great example of why we need to follow price. Fibonacci, trend lines are the true support, resistance, and future roadmap for future price action. Look at this. You know these levels. You know this channel. We drew this channel way back, few weeks already, 2 weeks or so. We are saying that MicroStrategy is inside a downtrend channel until proven otherwise. Now at the 618 Fibonacci retracement, below it 1170, 1030, and then these gaps, the 890 and the 812, will get filled. SMCI 1.75% to the downside. Also, we've been talking about this downtrend channel on SMCI very long time now. 856 is the support. We can take Fibonacci also from here, and as you can see, we are at the 50% retracement. Below it 827, and then we have the gap at the 764. Netflix 2.5%, breaking below the uptrend channel. Now where price of Netflix will be heading next? Below the 601, we take the FTI to the downside, 590, and then 578, and we have this gap at the 575 and another gap over here at the 560. Never say never. Thursday, coming Thursday, after hours, Netflix earnings. Stay tuned for a super volatile April going into May. Sell in May and go away maybe this year. Much more early. AMD, downtrend, super bullish, super bearish, sorry. Bearish on all time frames. You know this channel, you know these levels, and AMD just broke below the 167, 161. Now continuation to the downside, and the 148 gap will get filled. Last but not least, Shopify, as we said few days back, 1 week or so, we said that once Shopify will break the 74, Shopify is heading towards the gap at the 62 area. Very fast will be here. Now broke below this white trend line, breaking below a downtrend line. It's very, very bearish. Nothing bullish on Shopify. Short continuation all the way to 62. Still time. 2 weeks until Shopify's earnings. Until then, in my opinion, and of course everything you see and hear on in my channel is my opinion only, this gap will get filled. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. We are going live together 8:29 a.m. Eastern Time, preparing for another trading day. Until then, stay safe.